Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell my handmade progress keepers, paintings, and lots of other handmade treasures, as well as my pattern designs, which you can also find on Payhip and Lovecrafts. It's a long intro. I gotta do my best to remember all of it. You can find me on Instagram as Crafting Kraken Made, and yeah, that's about it. We are upstairs today. It is a wet and dreary day today. No, kind of like it. I hope you can hear the rain. I opened up the window as much, so hopefully you can get like a little bit of a good piece of that. And yeah, I got some stars back here. It's a little dark in here, but I really wanted to have those shining because they're really pretty. But yeah, happy holidays, everybody. I'm so excited. It is, well, you're gonna hear the cars for sure, but it is December 22nd today, and I'm so excited. I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday by far. I've got a Christmas sweater on. This is just a store-bought Christmas sweater, but it's got some reindeer, some pink in there, and I really love this sweater because I think it's mostly like a mohair sweater because it's super light but cozy. Very nice. The only thing is the sleeves are so long. Technically, this is my forearm length and it still goes past it, so it's yeah, so I got my Christmas sweater on, got some Christmas earrings. And yeah, so I basically just to say I'm very excited for Christmas. It's coming up very soon, and it's gonna be a good one. I've been doing Vlogmas for all the days of December. It's been interesting. This year I've learned a lot, and I think I said that last Vlogmas as well. But this time I've learned that I can take a little bit of time, and it's okay if some days are just not filled with footage. Like, you can't be crazy exciting every day. I'm not exciting every day, trust me. But yeah, it's been fun. I am a little bit worn out from it, but I did enjoy it. And yeah, so almost done. I can't believe it. And Christmas is so close. Yeah, but you came here for knitting and yarn content, didn't you? Yes, you did. So, we will get into that. I have one finished object and a bunch of whips. So, let's get into that. So, my finished object is I finished my husband's Mussel Burgh hat. This hat took a very long time to make, but I'm so happy it's done. And I did run out of, I think I was showing this last time, but I ran out of yarn, so I just needed a little bit for the end there. It goes on the inside, so you're never gonna see that. But this is the Mussel Burgh hat. It is a hat knit. It's given instructions for all different types of yarn weights. You do it by gauge. So yes, you have to check your gauge. You have to swatch to know what size you're making. I didn't swatch, but I went as I would, like, the project itself was my swatch. And I used size 2.75 millimeter needles on fingering weight yarn, and I knit the extra large. And it turned out pretty good. I probably could have gotten away with only doing the large, but it fits fine. It's not too big. It worked out pretty well. The yarn is Ruby and Roses from her winter collection. Do forgive me as I don't remember the name. I've completely lost the ball band. Winter's Flurry or something like that. It is unmistakably a blue with these beautiful highlights of mint green. And I really love how it knit up. It kind of spiralized and it kind of looks like the Northern Lights. I could probably pop it on. So far, I've been the only one wearing this because it's so cozy. It's pretty big and it's got a good amount of slouch there. It's so nice. When I finished this, I was like, it was fun, but I don't think I would knit another one. But then I put this on my head, it's like, oh, might need one for myself. It's just such a nice fabric, really. I don't know, it's not dense, but it's nice and thick because of the double layers. And yeah, so that is my husband's Mussel Burgh hat. It's all done. And we'll be wearing that. So that's my only finished object. But I do have quite a few whips. I think there's a couple new ones here. And I completely forgot about one the last podcast, so it's going to be new for you. And one is new because I'll move on to that one next because this is also attached to my husband. I am knitting him his Christmas present, and I've been waiting till this podcast to show it off. I haven't showed it off of Vlogmas, even though I've been working on it the entirety of Vlogmas, because my husband watches every podcast episode, every Vlogmas, every video I put up, which is so sweet, but it makes it very difficult to show off stuff. So, I can show it off now because this podcast won't come up till Christmas Eve. And he usually doesn't get to it the day of upload. So I can show this off and he'll have it by the time he watches this. So I am knitting my husband a Cowboy Caller. Now my husband's nickname is Cowboy because when we first became friends, we did this challenge. You know, on YouTube sometimes you get like, this is answer these questions and we can determine like your soulmate's first initial or something. We did one where it gave us our perfect nicknames, and we challenged ourselves that whatever nicknames we get, we use for a total of like, I think it was 2 weeks. And it was like, okay, let's do it. And he got Mr. Cowboy, and it kind of got shortened to Cowboy, and I got Honey Bunny, which we've now been dating for 2 years, married for almost 3 months, and the names have still stuck. So I thought, Cowboy should have a Cowboy Caller. And I designed this pattern way before that ever happened. But anyway, long story around it, I'm knitting him a Cowboy Caller. This yarn is something actually I dyed in a session with Tofino Knit Co. And I don't know if there's any in the shop anymore. It is 12th Man, because it's the colors of the Seattle Seahawks. It's got lots of speckles in there. I had so much fun doing this. It was so nice. And I'm finally getting to use it because my husband thought it was pretty cool. So the Cowboy Caller is one of my own designs. It was my first ever design. It is a double wrap cowl that has this bandana part on the front so that it looks like you're wearing a bandana, like a cowboy. So you knit the triangle first, and then you just knit for a long time all the way around. I love this pattern. I'm very proud of it, but I'm just like any other knitter, and I picked up the pattern and I read the amount that, because I had completely forgotten how this pattern works by this time. And it was like knit for an infinity for the way around. I am almost there. I think I have about 9 more inches to go. So it will be done for Christmas. My goal is to get it done for Christmas Eve. I'm not going to be able to block it in time, but at least it will be done. This is a 1 skein fingering weight project, and you do it on size 2.75 millimeter needles, which have, for some crazy reasons, become my go-to size for fingering weight right now. And I've just got this little progress keeper made out of an old necklace that I found at a thrift store. Thought it matched pretty nicely. And this is being held in my espresso Patronum bag from So Crazy Crafter. Fits perfectly. I had about that much left. There it is in the skein. This side is a little bit better for color wise. The lamp over here is very yellow. Sorry, I didn't think about the vehicles, but here we are. Anyways, so yeah, it's just a 1 skein fingering weight project that I just love. I wish I had started this sooner, but we'll still make it on time. So that is my first work in progress. Boop. I love this bag. Next, let's see what we got here. Let's start with another, I think I got, most of these are new. There's only one that you've seen before, and that's my Advent blanket. But this is just going to be a very chatty episode because I've got stories to go with most of these patterns. So we're just going to go into the next story. So for my Advent blanket, I had thought that I would design a shawl pattern with it, with using those minis, but I got too complicated with the sizing and not really knowing how much yarn I had completely. So I decided that I am going to take my Advent minis and make a blanket out of them. But, wait for vehicle. Okay, but I'm still going to do my shawl idea. So I gathered up a bunch of scraps and some minis. This is about 200 grams of fingering weight yarn, and I'm holding it double. And I just made a magic cake out of it, which is my favorite way to do it. They're so pretty and so enjoyable to knit because you kind of just get in a groove of, I'm going to work to the next color, I'm going to work to the next color, next fade. And so here's my shawl. I'm going to fix this lamp because it is so yellow. Let's bring this guy over here. It's going to be a little bit of a cooler lighting, but hopefully that helps with the colors. There we go. That's better. Okay. So yeah. Lighting issues. That'll do it. Anyway, so here we are so far. I've worked about one main mini and a bunch of little scraps that went with it. So I specifically made it so that the inside I put in 6 mini skeins, and then I matched that with a bunch of tiny little scraps, making sure that I got enough changes as I knit so that there wasn't huge blocks of the same thing. So this is my shawl so far. I am using size 3.75 millimeter needles, holding fingering weight double. And I've got my little Ludo Progress Keeper here, which is my favorite because I love the movie Labyrinth and I love Ludo. So that is the start of my shawl. It's going to be a simple triangle shawl. It's going to be a new pattern. I'm going to call it the watercolor shawl because of all the pooling of the colors. And then, close the vehicle. Okay. And then once I'm done knitting, I don't know if I'm going to need more. We'll see how the size is once this skein is done. Once that's done, I'm going to knit another triangle attached to this out of just one strand of mohair, so that when you're wearing it, the mohair will fold over and put like this fuzzy halo over the top of all your pretty colors, and you'll still be able to see the colors through it. I'm very excited for this pattern. And yeah, it's very squishy. It's going to be very cozy because you've got your squish of the fingering held double, but you also have that mohair layer that's going to keep all the nice cozy like warmth in, kind of like that light layer. And this is just being held in my Cozy Up bag. I haven't used this in a while, but this is a JoJo bag. It's my favorite color, green, with the Cozy Up sisters on there. Yeah, so it's a perfect just doctor's bag. It's gonna fit the whole shawl in there. Right now it's smaller than that, but it's gonna grow. So that is work in progress number 2. It's gonna be a long podcast with all my storytelling. So let's move on to my Advent blanket, since we were talking about that. Don't know if I did this the last time. I don't think I did. But I took days up. I took all the days up to day 12, and I wound them into yet another magic cake, because I love doing this, and it helps keep your minis from getting all over the place. Do excuse that I have wound my hair into this, as one does. So there's colors. They're so pretty. If you don't know, I did a mini swap with Amy Kate of the Graceful Tangle. We did an advent calendar swap with our scraps from our stashes. And so this is mine from her. And this is up to day 12. I'm going to take the other days up to 24, from 13 to 24, and wind them up into the other half for this cake. This is just living in my Noble Character Crafts bag. Love this bag. There's our little tag. Again, green and bandanas, because I'm a Western girl at heart. I love this little add-on that has, you can clip on stuff. I've got a bunch of progress keepers, some from the advent calendar that Amy Kate gave me. She gave me all these little sparkly ones and a gummy bear, and then this one is, I don't want to hit the mic. This is a little bottle of lavender from Wild in the Woods, Lavender for Luck. It was her Practical Magic progress keepers, so I carry Lavender for Luck and a bunch of little regular hoops and light bulb markers, and they don't get in the way because they're all clipped. So I've only made just a bit of progress since the last time I showed you. I'll start putting progress keepers from when I show it on the podcast. So I've started day 3, and I think I'm about not even halfway through, maybe like a third through. Day 3, I am doing this on size 2.75 millimeter needles. Surprise, surprise. And I'm just going to work all the colors up like you would a dishcloth. This is just going to be a recipe pattern that somebody can use. I'm going to give it as completely free because it's super easy and can be changed to whatever yarn weight. Sorry, I keep hitting the water there. But it's just got a very simple border on there. It's just plain fingering weight, and I'm knitting to the very end of the mini, so no matter where it stops, so far it's just landed on the side, which is kind of funny. And I'm gonna have a lot of ends to weave in, but hopefully I'll take the time to. Oh, now there's sirens. Lovely. Take a pause for a minute. You would think I live in the city, but I don't. I don't think I mentioned that. I live on the west coast of Canada, on good old Vancouver Island, which is why there is rain and it is cloudy. This is the way it is. I don't mind. I really do love the rain. I like how relaxing it can be. Doesn't help with podcast filming, but it's still pretty nice. So, anyway, my advent blanket. I'm gonna need bigger needles. I think I got 32-inch needles. I think that'd be okay, but I'm on day 3 and it's almost taking up the thing there. It's gonna be a little squished, so I'll have to look into getting a bigger pair. I don't know how big you can get with this size, but we'll see. This is just going to be something I work on throughout the year. But yeah, I'm going to work with all the minis all the way up until it's going to be a giant triangle. And then with some plain yarn, I'm going to decrease back. So it's going to be a big blanket, but I think it's going to be really nice because it's a light blanket. Good blanket to throw on when you're like watching a movie or something inside. So yeah, that is the progress on that. I think I would have gotten further if I hadn't been sucked into the watercolor shawl, but it's very addicting to work on something so scrappy. And last work in progress. I have been working on this for a little bit, but I kind of forgot about it the last podcast for some reason. So this recent pattern release I released on December 1st. This is my rain toque pattern. Hang on. This is the rain toque by yours truly. There's another picture there. It is a DK weight hat. And one thing that I realized is that I have not designed any headbands. And I've seen that headbands have been pretty popular lately. I have never been one to wear a headband. I'm a big toque person, but I thought it'd be nice to design a headband, and this pattern would be perfect to make into a headband edition. So far it's very dark yarn, so I'm sorry. I've got the crown points coming in, and it is going to be a double layered headband. So I'm going to work the crown points, work for a little bit of knitting, purl, and then knit the other half, and it will be, I don't know what that's called. You pick up the stitches and you kind of just knit them together into one solid thing. I don't know what that name is. I've got all my sections put off here, and the crown points are almost done. I hope to get this done in time to release in January, but we'll see. It might end up being a February thing at this rate. Yeah. I think I talked about this last time, that my goal for 2022 is I want to at least release a pattern every month. And so far, I've done, even this month, I've released the rain toque, and then next month will be the Maria hat, which I don't think I've talked about, but coming January 1st is the Maria hat, M-U-R-A, or I-A-M, M-U-R-I-A toque. It is a marled hat with fingering held double. You can do it with a pair of 50-gram skeins, and it has a double brim, which is done with seated ribbing, and then you just knit the hat and then you turn it inside out, so you get like a super marled with the purling side out. I will talk about that the next podcast more. I probably should have brought it up. Maybe I should just grab it, because I'll talk about that. But anyway, we're talking about this. I'll grab it in just a sec. I've got a painted bead progress keeper on here. This is Winter's Dawn, which I think there's one more in the shop at the moment. I'm doing this on size 3mm needles. This is DK weight yarn. It's about some just a scrap I had because I only used a little bit when I crocheted a stuffed animal with this. But this is not very Christmas, but it is sitting in my Gather Round Sisters bag from Tofino Knit Co. when she did a Hocus Pocus Club, or Hocus Pocus Halloween Advent Calendar. So that's what this is. And yeah, so that pattern will be coming out soon. If you're a headband fan, get excited, because there will be Crown Rain headbands. Just something I never thought I'd get into, but it's fun to do. Okay, moving on to the other announcement. My brain is all over the place, as per usual. That's just a normal thing, so sorry, but not sorry, because I think that adds a little bit of spice to a podcast. But thank you, me, for reminding me about my next pattern release. So I showed this off the last podcast. It is blocked now. This is the Maria hat, and it is Latin for pickle or brine because the yarn is done in brine. The yarn is from Brine Dye Works. I really love naming patterns through the Latin language because it is a dead language, but it's a really pretty language, and I studied it in school for a couple years. I don't speak fluent Latin, but I know a little bit. It didn't really stick to my brain, but it did help a lot with language learning. And the proper pronunciation is Muria. So it's a very thick M-U-R, Muria. But anyway, apart from that, it is a hat where you hold fingering double, and this is the side you knit it on. So what you do is you knit seated ribbing for a certain amount of rounds, you purl, then you knit the same amount of rounds, and then you just knit the main part of the hat. And then when you're done, you flip it inside out, so you have the purl side out to get this really cool hyperspace kind of look. And the purl round that you did helps the ribbing fold up nicely, and you don't get it going anywhere, which I find that happens sometimes where your ribbon kind of starts falling like this, rolls up on itself, rolls down on itself. That's the proper thing. But anyway, this is coming out January 1st. It is in testing right now. See if I can get it on my head. I really love this hat. It was an interesting journey figuring it out, and I love this yarn. So this is knit on size 3mm needles, and the colors are, the green is Algae from Brine Dye Works, and the blue is Oily Swell from Brine Dye Works. And it was both 50-gram skeins, so you can do this with your 50/50 sets, which I find sometimes, car coming by, I find sometimes that I'm not in the mood to knit socks with my 50-gram skein. It's 50-gram skein. No, that's right. Brain all over the place. With my 50-gram skeins. So this is a good alternative to marling something really cool. I will definitely be doing more of these. And yeah, so that pattern is coming out January 1st, which is pretty soon, which is my birthday, which is crazy. I'm a New Year's baby. So this will be a birthday release. So cool. So yeah, y'all want to get me a birthday present, buy my pattern, or any pattern. Maybe I'll do a pattern sale for birthday, a gift from me to you to me. Down for that. So that is all I've been working on. And yeah, I think I've babbled everything. My goodness, such a babbly episode, but I had fun, and I'm so glad to hop on and talk to you guys. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and man, I guess now I will see you in 2022. Crazy. All right, see you guys later. Bye.